Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'll be discussing about a few facts about Python, but mention why and under what circumstances is Python a good choice, and by good choice I mean it is better than other languages. I'll compare it against Java and C++ only because I only know these two languages, these other two languages I mean to say. Yeah, maybe a bit of C# too, but mostly I'll compare it against Java and C++. So these comparisons concentrate on language issues only. In practice, the choice of a programming language is often dictated by real-world constraints such as cost, availability, training, prior investment, or even emotional attachment. Believe it or not, I have mates who would not switch to Java from C++ or from either of them to Python because they form some weird kind of loyalty towards Java or C++. I can understand why that is. You work hard to pick up a new language, make few projects in it, then suddenly when you're asked to quit it or for the moment replace it, you hesitate. So to save you this trouble, I'll tell you in what all cases using Python would be a wise decision. Why Python is more flexible than Java or C++. You see, Python is a dynamically typed programming language where there is no necessity of declaring variables, while on the other hand Java is a statically typed language where variables are to be explicitly declared. When we define an integer in Python, let's say such as x equals 10,000, x is not just a raw integer, it's actually a pointer to a compound C structure which contains several values. A single integer in Python 3.4 actually contains 4 pieces. First one is the object reference count that helps Python silently handle memory allocation and deallocation. Second is the object type that encodes the type of the variable. Third one is the object size that specifies the size of the following data members. Then we have the object digit that contains the actual integer value that we expect the Python variable to represent. Python programs are generally expected to run slower than Java programs, but they also take much less time to develop. You see, Python programs are typically 3 to 5 times shorter than its equivalent Java programs. So this difference can be attributed to Python's built-in high-level data types and its dynamic typing. For example, a Python programmer wastes no time declaring the types of arguments or variables, and Python's powerful polymorphic list and dictionary types, for which rich syntactic support is built straight into the language, will find a use in almost every Python program. Because of the runtime typing, Python's runtime must work harder than Java's. For example, when evaluating the expression, let's say a plus b, right? It must first inspect the objects a and b to find out their type, which is not known in compile time. It then invokes the appropriate addition operation, which may be an overloaded user-defined method. But Java, on the other hand, can perform an efficient integer or floating point addition, but requires the variable declarations for a and b, and does not allow overloading of the plus operator for instances of the user-defined classes. Right? For these reasons, Python is much better suited as a glue language, while Java is better characterized as a low-level implementation language. Glue language, it refers to a programming language that is designed specifically to write and manage programs and code, which connects together different software components, right? So almost everything said for Java also applies for C++. Just more so, where Python code is typically 3 to 5 times shorter than its equivalent Java code, it is often 5 to 10 times shorter than its equivalent C++ code. How about that, Anecdotal evidence suggests that one Python programmer can finish in 2 months what 2 C++ programmers can't complete in even a year. That's disastrous, that's ridiculous to say that. Python shines as a glue language used to combine components written in C++. So, why is Python popular? Well, for starters, it's old. Python has been around since the 90s. That does not only mean that it has had plenty of time to grow, it is also quite a large and supportive community. So if you have any issue while you're coding in Python, the odds are high that you'll be able to solve it using a simple Google search. Simply because somebody else will have already encountered your problem and written something useful about it. And I genuinely hope it helps you, right? Second reason is it's beginner friendly. It's not only the fact that it has been around for decades, giving programmers the time to make brilliant tutorials such as this, which you're currently watching, but more than that, the syntax of Python is very human readable. If you can speak English, a lot of stuff in Python would make sense to you immediately. Third reason would be it's versatile. Since Python has been around for so long, developers have made a package for almost every purpose. These days you can find a package for almost everything. You want to crunch numbers, vectors and matrices? NumPy is your guy. Want to do calculations for tech and engineering? Use SciPy. Want to make games? Use Pygame. Want to start off with artificial intelligence? Why not use scikit-learn? See? Whichever computation task you're trying to manage, chances are that there is a Python package for it out there. This makes Python stay on top of recent developments, which can be seen from the surge in machine learning over the past few years. But with all that said, Python has its downsides, and you have to make a decision for yourself when not to use Python. First reason is its speed. Python is slow. Yep, you heard that right. There are several reasons for that. One of them is that it's dynamically typed. Remember that you don't need to specify data types like in other languages. This means that a lot of memory needs to be used because the program needs to reserve enough space for each variable that it works in any case. And lots of memory usage translates to lots of computing time. Another reason is that Python can only execute one task at a time. This is a consequence of flexible data types. Python needs to make sure each variable has only one data type, and parallel processes could mess that up, Second downside would be that Python is not used to make mobile applications. In simple terms, it is so because there are not much applications that are built using Python which is suitable for mobile applications. Third, since Python is a dynamically typed language, it is prone to more runtime errors. Its most important feature is also one of its problems. That is, since the Python developer is not in complete control of the application that he's developing, in the sense that it is dynamically typed, the interpreter takes care of stuff during execution, so if and when an error arises at runtime, it could be a big problem to debug when compared to other languages. So, now I'll leave it up to you to decide if Python is a suitable language for you or not. Yeah, I know that this video is biased towards Python, but again, that's the idea, right? I think Python would be a good starting point for many people who wish to enter into software development or data science or web development or any other paradigm of computer science in general. So, good luck with that. So if you've liked the video, why don't you consider subscribing to this channel and hit the thumbs up button. Till next time, cheerio.